Hey, welcome back. Before we get into our 60-minute vinyasa, I wanted to first take a moment to thank you for continuing to practice with me and for continuing to donate. It really makes a huge difference, and I just want you to know that I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much, and I appreciate you continuing to show up for yourself and then also to show up and move with me. So today's class is focused on the theme of shifting our perspective to view obstacles as opportunities. So when something challenging is placed in your path, you can see this as an obstacle or something you just got to get through and get to the other side of. Or you can see it as an opportunity to really learn and grow. To go into that challenge, recognizing that the other side of it, if you really embrace this opportunity to become a better version of yourself, right, you will grow in a way that is long-lasting and in a deeper way than if you're just trying to get to the other side. But if you move through and you try to stay open as you're moving through, then this obstacle is an opportunity for you to know yourself better, and through that to understand those around you a little bit better, but also to really go in and notice why is this an obstacle, right? Why did you first see this as an obstacle? What can you learn? What can you gain from moving through this with an open-hearted mind? And on our yoga mats, right, we're faced with physical obstacles, physical challenges. Our yoga mat is a reflection of our deepest layers, right? What's going on inside of us. And so oftentimes anything that has been unaddressed in the heart and the mind also shows up, and that can be challenging. So just within the four corners of your yoga mat, you're confronted with lots of opportunities, right, to see anything that bubbles up as a chance to learn and grow, right, rather than something you just gotta get through until you can feel comfortable again. So we're gonna begin on the back body in Shavasana. Go ahead and lie back and get comfortable and simply begin to connect to your breath. As you deepen your breath, also begin to lengthen every exhalation. Feel each breath in and each breath out. Can we rewrite this story of what an obstacle is? Begin to view it as an opportunity. Can we reprogram our minds to see whatever is placed in our path as a chance to grow and expand? On your next breath in, go ahead and fill up all the way to the tops of your lungs. Find a little pause at the top. Then open mouth, exhale, release that breath away. Two more like that. Deep breath in through your nose. And a little pause at the top. And then open mouth, exhale, release. One more time, deep breath in. Pause that full. And then open mouth, exhale to empty. And seal your lips, breathe in and out of your nose. And start to stretch your hands up and overhead as you spread through your fingers and toes. You circle through your ankles and your wrists. And then eventually start to bring both knees into your chest. Draw your thighs in close. And take an in-breath to the back of your heart space. And on your exhale, let both knees tip over to your right. Left shoulder drops heavy towards the ground. And once you settle into your simple twist, you take 2 cycles of breath. We're just going to find a simple switch to the second side. So start to bring one knee at a time through center. Pause at the midline with an inhale. And then tip your knees over to the left for your gentle twist second side on your exhale. And invite 2 full cycles of breath towards your right side body in the back of your heart space. With every exhalation, let that be an invitation to let go. An opportunity to set aside another thought, another clutter moving through your mind. As you clear those pieces of clutter away, create more space, more freedom. So really focus back on your intention. Now you can see every moment as an opportunity. Bring your knees back to center, and then keep your knees bent. Place your feet to the earth, and then push into a bridge pose. As you root down through your feet, send your tailbone forward and up to lift your pelvis. And then actively root down through your big toe mounds, your heels, and the backs of your arms. And from those points of contact with the earth, can you find that root to rise energy? Let your navel pull in so you feel supported at your center. And then begin to activate through your glutes and hamstrings a little bit more. Encourage your knees forward. Let your heart stretch a little bit further towards the back of your mat. So you get a front body opening as well as back body engagement here. Take one more deep breath in. And on your exhale, slow motion, lower all the way down until your hips arrive to the earth. Once your hips land to your mat, take a breath in. On your exhale, start to knit your front ribs in. Draw your navel to your spine, anchor your low back to the earth, and bring your knees into 90-degree bends, so like an upside down tabletop shape. You're going to try to keep your front ribs knit together, your navel pulled in. Take your right hand to your right thigh and your left hand to your left thigh, and then breathe in. As you breathe out, push your thighs away, and then push up towards your knees, and resist that with your core strength. Draw your navel down and up towards your lungs. So your belly is moving in and up in the opposite directions your hands are pushing. Continue to breathe as you activate. This is abdominal bracing. Find that push-pull that lights up your center. Take one more breath in. Exhale, gently release the pressure. Okay, let your knees fall to your chest, and then find your way into a tabletop pose, all fours. And then bring your shoulders right above your wrists and your hips to stack above your knees. As you create space between your fingers, begin to rise up to your finger pads, and then root through your fingers and hug your finger pads towards center. So your hands are like suction cups. So that activates up through your arms, and with an in-breath, lift your heart and tail towards a cow shape. And on your exhale, stand your fingertips but round into a cat spine. Let your tailbone start to tuck. Your head fall heavy. Push down and away through your finger pads. Then inhale back into your cow spine, heart and tailbone rise. On your exhale, walk your hands forward, bring your palms to the earth, and melt your heart towards your mat into Anahatasana. Take a deep breath in, and exhale, sink a little bit closer to the earth. And then push down through your palms, lift up just like an inch or two. Thread your right hand underneath your body, right palm faces the sky. And then square your heart towards the earth, so bring your left shoulder towards the ground, your forehead to the mat. Push down to the back of your right arm and down through your left palm as you take a breath in. And an exhale. Then drive your left hand into the earth. Use your core to reach your right hand forward and just switch to second side. So left hand will sweep underneath. As your left palm turns to face to the sky, square your heart towards the ground. Take your forehead to your mat. Press the back of your left arm into your right palm. As you reach both hands forward, bring your forearms down to the earth so your forearms are two parallel lines. Begin to shift your shoulders above your elbows, and then step your feet back into a forearm plank. Okay, push through your hands, push through your toes, feel your quadriceps light up. Okay, for that back of your heart space, I'm going to puff to the sky a little bit so your front ribs can pull in, navel to spine. And make sure that your head is in line with your spine. And then take 3 slow breaths here. Your elbows hug towards your toes. And try to smooth out your Ujjayi pranayama. And take 1 more breath in. On your exhale, lower your hips to the earth, untuck your toes to Sphinx pose. Push down through your elbows, draw your navel to your spine, and then hug your elbows towards your hip points and open your collarbones wide. And take 1 big breath in here. On your exhale, split your elbows wide and lower your forehead to the backs of your hands. Just take a breath in and a breath out. Then goddess your right arm. So bring your right arm into a 90-degree bend so your elbow is in line with your shoulder and your wrist is in line with your elbow. And then bend your left knee to the side to a 90-degree bend as well for a belly down half frog. Tighten your left fingertips underneath your left elbow. And then push into your left fingertips, lift your heart, roll your heart towards your left arm and lower your right temple and right ribs to the earth. You're going to push into your left hand and begin to take your left toes behind you so you're in a goddess armed wing pose. Your left toes don't need to touch the earth, but they can rest there if you can reach. And take a breath in and a breath out. And 1 more inhale to open through your right side. And on your exhale, you're going to slowly lengthen your left leg to meet your right. Bring your left arm to a 90-degree bend. And tighten your right fingertips underneath your right elbow and shoulder. As you bring your right into a belly down half frog, then pick up your heart and roll the left side of your body towards the center of your mat. Turn your gaze to the right and lower your left temple to the earth. Make sure your left elbow's in line with your shoulder and start to step your right toes behind you. So you're in this goddess arm wing pose, shoulder opener, for 2 cycles of that. And you unwind through center, extend your right leg long. Bring yourself to square and then tenting your fingertips beside you, wider than your width of your yoga mat. You're going to push down through your hands. Lift your heart, draw your belly in, pull your fingertips back towards your toes. Take an inhale. And exhale, lengthen as you lower to the earth. And you bring your hands to frame your body like a push-up position. Hug your elbows in real close and then tuck your toes underneath. Right, knees up or down. Begin to find your way to a high plank. Press the earth away. Good. Downward facing dog. Push your hips up and back. And then just pedal your feet. Maybe adjust your stance. And then revisit that idea in your fingertips of rooting down with your finger pads and hugging to the center of your hand. Try to unload some of the weight from the heels of your hands and lift up through your belly. Roll your biceps in and up to the sky and your triceps out and down to the earth so you have external rotation through your shoulders. And eventually walk forward to a forward fold at the top of your yoga mat. On a soft knees, let your head fall heavy, tailbone tall. Take 1 breath in, sway a little bit forward and back. And 1 breath out. And with an inhale, lift your spine up halfway, lengthen. And on your exhale, forward fold release. Rise all the way to stand, deep breath in, reach both hands high. Then exhale, fold to the earth, soften your knees and hinge from your hips. And halfway lift, lengthen out. And on your exhale, step your left foot back so you're in a strong low lunge. And keep your left toes tucked, drop your left knee to the earth, and drag your left knee forward so you feel your left glute catch. Once your left glute is active, push to your right foot so your inner right thigh is strong, and hug in and up to rise. Low crescent, Vinyasa. Take a breath in. On your exhale, begin to bring your hands towards your heart and start to lift your hips up away from the earth. So think about the lift of your front of your pelvis with your core. So you push down with your right foot really strong. You press your palms together so your front ribs kind of pull in. And you're going to push your hands together and push your hands up to the sky and bring your forearms towards one another. Maybe you can bring your elbows to touch. Squeeze your forearms as tightly as you can to the center. Right. Keep your shoulders down, but lift your fingertips high as you squeeze to center. And begin to bring your thumbs towards your third eye point. And then take a breath in. On your breath out, begin to lift your heart, lean back a little bit. So think about lifting your elbows and lifting your sternum towards your elbows. Feeling the scoop out of your shoulder blades. Right. From here, begin to split your elbows wide. Release your thumbs from your forehead. Create a diamond over your head so your thumb and pointer finger stay connected, elbows wide. Press your elbows back, your heart forward. You can lift your chin and look up to open through your throat, or keep your chin at neutral and just kind of press the back of your skull back. Continue to hug in through your midline. Feel your thighs really strong. Interlace your hands behind your head. And this time as you cradle your skull with your hands, draw your shoulder blades together, elbows wide. Let your hands take on the weight of your head. And with your next breath in, push into your feet, lift and lengthen through the back of your heart, reach your hands up high, and exhale your hands down to your mat, lift your back knee, and lengthen both legs. So you're now in your cat lunge, hamstring stretch. And dive across your right thigh and just give yourself a breath here. And take a big bend into your right knee. And step your right foot back into a downward facing dog. Right foot meets your left. Okay, with an inhale, lift your heels up high. Exhale, roll forward to high plank pose. Back of your heart leads the way. Stack your shoulders above your wrists. Okay, shift forward with an inhale. And lower all the way to the earth with your exhale. Elbows go straight back. And untuck your toes, low cobra, big breath in, lift through the back of your heart. And exhale, lower down. And inhale, low or high cobra. Rise up. And on your exhale, lower down. Good. Inhale, low, high cobra, or upward facing dog. Maybe lift your hips away from the earth. Open your chest and exhale, downward facing dog. Pike your hips up to the sky. Right, from your down dog, push the earth away. Take an in breath to lift your heels high. Exhale, bend your knees and then step or hop to the top, forward fold. All right, a half lift with your breath in. And exhale to release. Good, rise and reach tall all the way to the sky. And listen for your exhale to dive down to the earth. Breathe in, lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, step your right foot back. Keep your right toes tucked, drop your right knee to the earth, and then drag your right knee forward so you feel your right glute activate. Root through your left foot and then rise up, inner left thigh strong. And that scissor action of right hip forward, left hip, right, plugged in. Take a moment to be here to squeeze to the midline. From your inner upper thighs, draw to center. And then start to bring your hands to your heart. And try to push down so you lift through the front of your pelvis. Shoulders are stacked above your hips. Rather than sinking towards the earth, we're lifting up and away. And push through your palms. Light up your biceps. Light up your pecs, your chest. Draw your shoulder blades slightly together so your collarbones are open. And start to push your palms strong together. As you lift your fingers to the sky, bring your forearms to tap your elbows to kiss. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And eventually, as you push your elbows away from your sternum, bring your thumbs towards your third eye. And inhale, lift through your heart. Try to stay really active through your core, so you lift your ribcage up and away from your pelvis. Eventually, you're going to split your elbows, Release your thumbs from your third eye. Create a diamond with your thumb and pointer finger. And then push your heart through your elbows. Continue to lift up and away from the earth. Interlace your hands behind your head. Hold your skull. Right, let the weight of your head be held by your hands or your shoulder blades together, open through your chest. With your breath in, begin to lift the back of your heart space. Push through your left foot, reach through your hands. Exhale to your cat lunge. Find a length through both of your legs and dive your heart down. And you'll start to bend into your front knee. Step back into a downward facing dog. Left foot meets your right. And with your in-breath, lift your heels. Exhale, roll forward to your high plank pose. This time, shift forward to your tippy toes. Breath in. Knees up or down, lower halfway with your exhale. Open your heart, up dog or cobra. And on your out breath, downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Then find an inhale and an exhale. Your next breath in, lift your right leg high. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose as you shift forward, push the earth away. The three-legged dog, big breath in. You're gonna stay in one long line. Shift towards a one-legged plank. Tap your right toes towards your left heel. Bring your shoulders to stack above your wrists. Draw your navel in. Lead with your right heel. Start to lift your right heel. Three-legged dog. Feel your right glute pull you up. And then step your right foot forward in between your thumbs. Do that same push action like you did with knee to nose. And dip your left knee to a hover with an inhale. Lengthen both your legs as you exhale. Take a big bend into your right knee. Bend your crescent, pull yourself all the way up with your in-breath. On your out-breath, bring your hands to your heart. Then lift your heart towards your thumbs. Push down through your right foot, especially through your heel, but plug your right femur bone, your thigh bone into your pelvis. You're gonna push your hands together and up until your forearms come to kiss. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Just like we did before, bring your thumbs towards your third eye. You're gonna push your elbows away from you. Lift your heart with your in-breath. On your exhale, begin to split your elbows, create the diamond shape. Thumb and pointer fingers stay connected. Push your heart forward and through. And take a breath in. Interlace your hands behind your head. Hold the weight of your skull. Continue to plug your right thigh in. And on your exhale, pull your navel to your spine. Lift the back of your heart as you reach high with an inhalation. An exhalation, begin to airplane your arms beside you. Lean your weight into your right foot, come to left tippy toe. Drag or take a big step to chair pose. Left foot meets your right. Reach to your heart in your hands. And on your out breath, interlace your right thumb on top of your left and then hinge forward to your forward fold. With your chest expansion bind. Any amount of softness in your knees, just relax the weight of your skull. Use the bind to try to lift the heads of your shoulders up to the sky. And then reach your hands overhead. Take a breath in. And then release your hands down as you breathe out. Halfway lift to lengthen. And step your right foot back as you exhale. Take a twist, reach your left hand to the sky, one breath in. And turn all 10 toes to the right and bend your right knee for a side lunge with your breath out. And so in your side lunge here, you want to keep our left foot completely grounded, so all four corners of your left foot. You're going to take your right hand below your face and reach your left hand to the sky like a twist, breath in. On your exhale, thread your left hand underneath to your right shin. Right, grab onto your right shin, reach your right hand forward like heart melting pulse. So you bend your left elbow, pull your heart underneath your right armpit. Lean your weight into your heels, keep your right knee wide, hug muscle to the bone through your left leg really strong, and through your right quadricep. And continue to pull your heart underneath your right arm. And then push through your right fingertips. Right, find a halfway lift as you lengthen both legs. And then please turn to the top of your mat. So you're in a low lunge facing forward. Step back into your downward facing dog. Left foot meets your right. With your breath in, lift your heels. Exhale, roll forward, high plank pose. On your in-breath, shift forward. To the count of 5, knees up or down, lower to the earth. 5, 4, elbows close for 3. Strong with your fingers for 2. Release on 1, untuck your toes. Tempt your fingers out to the side. With an in-breath, lift your heart, gecko pose. With exhale, dip your right shoulder in and look to the left. As you breathe in, lift your chest through center. Now make sure your low back feels healthy. Dip your left shoulder in and look to the right. With inhale through your midline. And pull your heart forward as you lower down with exhale, so you lengthen across the earth. Hands by your low ribs, elbows in close, tuck your toes. Knees up or down, activate through your thighs, your navel, and push to a high plank. A downward facing dog, press your hips up and back. Take a breath in, and maybe an open mouth exhale out. And inhale your left leg up high. Exhale to bring your knee to your nose, push through your hands and your right toes, empty your lungs all the way to the bottom. 3-legged dog, deep breath in. Shift towards 1-legged plank, tap your left toes to your right heel, push back through your left heel as you draw your navel in. Lead with your left heel to your 3-legged dog. And step your left foot forward in between your thumbs. Cow lunge, sink your right knee to a hover with an in-breath. And exhale, find your cat lunge, lengthen through both of your legs. Take a strong bend into your left knee, and then root down and rise up, crescent lunge all the way tall. And invite your hands to your heart center, into Anjali Mudra, your prayer position. And find that scissor action through your pelvis again. Take a breath in. Exhale, push your hands together and up to bring your forearms to touch. Shoulders stay down. Lift your fingers and scoot your elbows forward. And then bring your thumbs to your third eye point. Pull in through your front ribs. Use that to support you as you start to lift your elbows towards the sky. Take an inhale. And exhale. And then spread your elbows to create the diamond shape. Thumb and pointer fingers stay connected. Push your heart through. Breathe in a little bit deeper, lift a little higher. So you interlace your hands behind you, hold your swallow. Check back in with your pelvis, the support of your core. And then begin to lift and reach high through your hands, lift to the back of your heart. And with your out breath, airplane your arms beside you, hinge forward. Transfer the weight to your left foot, lean your weight over left thigh. Drag or take a big step to chair pose, right foot meets your left. Breathe in as you reach high. And breathe out, interlace your left thumb on top of your right, and then dive forward into your forward fold. Take an inhale and an exhale here. Release your hands, lift up halfway. And step your left foot to the back of your mat. In one in-breath, twist your right hand to the sky, root your right foot down strong, and roll your left lung to your right knee. As you breathe out, you're gonna bring your right hand down, turn everything to the left into your left knee bend, side lunge. Again, keep the extended leg foot completely anchored to the earth for this. Hug muscle to the bone. And okay, left hand's gonna go below your face, twist your right hand up high with an in-breath. And then exhale, reach your right hand underneath to your left shin. Continue to press your shin wide, your left knee wide, and rock your left hand forward. And then pull with your right arm so that your heart begins to roll underneath your left armpit. Your right elbow can be bent as you draw yourself underneath towards the back of your yoga mat. Lean back. So there's more weight in your heels, so your sits bones spread wide. Continue to hug muscle to the bone. Mindfully release out of this into a wide-legged fold, halfway lift breath in. Now low lunge to the right, start to turn all 10 toes to the right. And then step back, downward facing dog, right foot meets your left. Inhale to lift your heels, and exhale, roll forward to your high plank pose. Shift forward to your tippy toes, knees up or down, we lower to the count of 5. One long line for 4, 3, 2, One, untuck your toes, turn your fingertips beside you. Healthy through your low back, breathe in, lift your heart any amount. And exhale, dip your left shoulder in and look to the right. Anchor through your toenails for support. With an in-breath, rise to your center. And then follow your exhale, second side, right shoulder and look to your left. And inhale, lift and lengthen through your midline. Drag your fingertips back to pull your chest forward. Gaze forward and then lengthen yourself across the earth as you lower down. Hands by your low ribs. Begin to push to a child's pose. Take your hips to your heels and find 3 breaths. Option to bend at your elbows and take prayer hands to the nape of your neck. And then root down through your elbows and pull your elbows to your knees to lengthen through your triceps. Begin to take your forearms forward again, so your forearms are 2 parallel lines. Then begin to shift your shoulders above your elbows. Inhale, cow your spine, lift your heart and your tail. Exhale, cat your spine with your forearms on the earth, curl and round. And then come back to neutral. Right. You're going to push into your hands onto tabletop. You're going to tent your fingertips out to the side. Okay. A little bit wider than your mat, so your hands are still in line with your shoulders. Pull your fingertips towards your knees, inhale to your cow shape. On your exhale, push down and forward through your finger pads, curl to your cat spine. And inhale to neutral spine. On your exhale, you're going to keep your hips stacked right above your knees. Dip your heart down towards your mat, elbows go wide. Use your upper body strength, your navel strength, push down, press back up. Okay, 2 more. Can you find the engagement? Squeeze your finger pads towards center, find the suction cups through your hands. Feel all the muscles around your shoulder blades as you push up. 1 more time, elbows wide, sink your heart down. And then push back up. Good. Walk your palms forward. Now, Anahatasana, the heart melting pose, to stretch that out. Take 1 breath in and 1 exhale. You begin to bend your elbows, slither forward into your forearm plank. Step your feet back. And you root down with your arms. Draw your navel and bring your hands to prayer. Keep your elbows stacked below your shoulders and push your palms really firmly together. Head up your front line. Take 1 more breath here. We're going to move to a side forearm plank. So continue to keep your thumb and pointer finger together. Turn your toes to the left. Okay, keep your right elbow rooted really strong and start to peel your left elbow off the earth. Create that diamond shape like we did in our high lunge. Lift your right hip away from the earth. Root your right elbow. I'm going to swim Greta Hill, one of my teachers. Squeeze your right obliques. Push, push, push. And then come back through center. Palms together, left elbow below left shoulder. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Second side, turn your toes to the right. Root through your right forearm and elbow to the pinky edge of your right hand. And then create that diamond shape. Push through your feet. Lift your left hip away from the earth. Feel your left obliques. Roll your right shoulder back and push your heart through. But keep your front legs knit in. Just keep contained through your front line. You'll come back down through your forearm plank. Split your hands into Sphinx pose, lower your hips. Lift your heart. Stay in Sphinx, anchoring through your toenails, or lift your elbows to seal. Pull your ribcage up and away. Collarbones wide, take a breath in. And then lower down. Draw your hands by your low ribs. Tuck your toes underneath. Knees up or down, high plank, push the earth away. The downward facing dog, shift your booty up and back. And then walk your hands back to your feet. So you're gonna forward fold at the back of your mat. We'll take our second big flow after this. And a softness in your knees, take a halfway lift on your inhale. On your exhale, bend your left knee, take your left hand to the earth, and then twist your right hand to the sky. Roll your right shoulder back. And then take another inhale, reach the right fingertips. Exhale, bend both knees as you lower down through center. Half lift, lengthen. On your right knee, release your right hand to the earth and twist your left hand to the sky. Roll open, take a breath in. And then eventually both knees bend, fold forward with your breath out. Halfway lift through center. And exhale, use your core to walk to downward facing dog. And from your down dog, lift your right leg to the sky and inhale, your core, your right glute all active. Knee to nose with exhale, shift forward. Three-legged dog, inhale up and back. Exhale, shift to top, shoulder step, push into your hands, right toes towards your left heel. Begin to lift your right heel, feel your right glute, three-legged dog. And then take a big step forward, right foot in between your thumbs. Right, crescent lunge, inhale, rise up. And exhale, goddess arms, maybe dip your left knee to a hover. Begin to interlace your hands behind, your right thumb goes on top. Draw your elbows towards one another, collarbones wide. Option to lengthen your arms and lift your hands away from your hips. Breathe in. With your exhale, lean your heart forward, stay elevated through your chest as you lengthen your left leg out. Shift your weight to your right foot. Begin to step to a chair pose, keeping the bind, left foot meets your right. Transfer your weight to your left foot and flamingo your right heel to your seat. Feel all four corners of your left foot and then push into airplane leg, send your right leg back. And give yourself a breath in. Right, with breath out, place your right toes to the earth. Again, keep the bind for a moment. Spin your right heel down. Lift your heart. Stay here. Our humble warrior, dive towards the inside of your left leg. Wrap your left sitting bone in. Get earthy through your pelvis. Recommit to your left leg lunge. Draw in with your core. Begin to drive into your roots. Push down. Use the bind to pull you up. At the top, Virabhadrasana 2, spread your wings out wide. Stretch your middle fingers and inhale, reverse your warrior. And with your exhale, find your side angle pulse. Reach your right hand to the sky. And extend your side angle as you breathe in. Then exhale down into a low lunge. Then begin to lift your left leg up, three-legged dog. And with your out breath, take your left knee towards your right tricep, twist underneath your body. Feel your obliques like we did in our side plank. Inhale, left leg to the sky. And exhale, step your left foot forward to the top of your mat. You push into your left foot, airplane your arms. Bring your right leg with you all the way to stand, deep breath in. Twist to the right, reach your right hand back, left hand in front of you. Option to take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh. Then use that as a leverage to twist deeper. Perhaps you take your gaze towards the back of the rib. And slowly start to bring yourself through center, unwind into your one-legged Tadasana. And exhale, figure four, right ankle on left leg, sink your booty back and down, flex your right ankle. So helping to stretch out through our seat after all of our lunging. Use your right oblique strength, that same side body strength that we've been using throughout practice. So lift your right sitting bone. And then squeeze an imaginary block between your inner upper thighs. And take one more breath in. On your exhale, unwind, step your right foot back into an airplane crescent lunge. So right toe step back, reach your hands beside you. And release your right hand down, twist your left hand, twisted low lunge, breath in. Turn everything to the right until your right knee bends, side lunge or Skandasana with your exhale. And an option to take your right hand down, right tricep, bicep area in front of your right knee, and twist your left hand up high. And we're gonna bend into our left knee, low lunge to the top of your mat, everything turns forward. Step back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, heels high. Exhale, roll forward. Skip the chaturanga and take upward facing dog. Untuck your toes, open your chest. Right back to down dog. Feel your low belly as the power to pull your pelvis high. And one breath in. And one exhale. And inhale your left leg up tall. Empty your lungs as you bring your knee to nose. Push the earth away. Shift way far forward. Shoulders above or beyond your wrists. Three-legged dog. Left leg to the sky. Shift to tap. Left toes to your right heel. Draw your navel in. Three-legged dog. Left heel, left glute. Lift you up. And take a big step forward. Left foot to the top of your mat. And then high crescent lunge. Pull yourself through. Through your left heel, draw back so your left hamstring is strong. Goddess your arms, maybe sink your right knee to a hover. Try to lift the front of your pelvis again with your front body engagement. Kneeing your shoulders right above your hips. As you interlace your hands behind your back, it's going to be left thumb on top. Broaden across your chest, take an inhale. Bring your heart up and forward as you lengthen right leg with exhale. Shift into your left foot a lot. Your right toes can drag or take a big step. Right foot to meet your left to a bound chair. Move the weight to your right foot. Flamingo your left heel up towards your seat. Focus your gaze, recommit. And then lengthen your legs into airplane legs. Use the bind to help keep your heart open. Take a breath in. Try to keep your bind as you step your left toes to the earth at the back of your mat. And rise your chest, spin your left heel down so you're in warrior 2 feet, Virabhadrasana to your roots. Breathe in. Maybe humble warrior dive to the inside of your right thigh. Wrap your right hip in. Re-explore the lunge. Take an inhale. Hug muscle to bone as you stay for exhale. Push through your feet, pull through the bind. Rise up to Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Expand across through your wings. With an in-breath, reverse. Right hand sweeps. Good. Exhale, side angle, lean down. Extend your side angle. Left hand stretches overhead. And into your low lunge. Lift your right leg up tall with the breath in. And you take your right knee towards your left tricep. Breath out. Feel your obliques. Three-legged dog with your inhale. Right foot forward on your exhale. Push into your feet. Airplane your arms beside you. Right, bring your left knee with you as you rise up tall. Big breath in. Twist to your left. Reach your left hand back. Send your right fingertips forward. We take your right hand to the outside of your left thigh as you turn. And one more in breath. You might look to the back of the room on your out breath. And then unwind from your twist and find your figure 4. Ekapada Utkatasana. Seat back, heart forward. Find that lift of your left sitting bone. Energy through your left ankle to support your joints. Steady your breath, focus your gaze. Push through your right foot. Step back into your airplane arm crescent. Twisted low lunge, left hand reaches down, reach your right hand up high. And then turn everything into the left. Into your left knee bend, side lunge, or maybe skandasana this time. Hug muscle to bone to your right leg. You might take your left arm, your upper arm, so bicep, tricep area, the inside of your left knee, and then reach your right hand tall. Use your knee and your arm together as leverage. It's a boundary to twist from. When you're ready, start to make your journey to the top of your mat to a low lunge. So hands or no hands, your right knee will bend, spin to the ball mount of your left foot. Step back to your downward facing dog. With your inhale, roll forward to high plank. Any transition this time as you exhale, so feel free to take a chaturanga, to just go to up dog, to skip it, to get creative, it could be tabletop, anything you want, to downward facing dog. And walk your feet a couple inches closer and wider, so just in the short, wide down dog. Little softness to your knees, hug your shins towards the midline. Shift the weight to your left hand just a little bit for a second so you can release your right hand. And then reach your right hand to the outside of your left shin. Push your left hand down and away. As you bend your right elbow, pull your heart through, looking underneath your left armpit. Breathe.
Breathe especially full to the back of your heart. And try to keep equal weight between your 2 feet. And send your right hand out. And reach your left hand on the second side. Pull yourself through. Push through your right hand. Every exhale, we twist a little bit deeper. Try to find equal weight through your feet. Activity through your core. Reach your left hand out in front of you. Bring your feet together. You can keep that short down dog stance. Bend your knees wide, look forward, take a breath in. On your exhale, take a big hop. Or you could take a step, but maybe a handstand hop to the top of your mat for a forward fold. Okay, once you arrive, a halfway lift with your in-breath. Walk your feet wide, turn your toes slightly out, heels in, Vinyasa squat. Lower through your hips and bring your hands to heart center. Now, notice if you kind of sink just into your maximum depth of your squat. Push down with your heels, lift your booty up like an inch or two, and scooch your groins back. Encourage your knees wide with your elbows. Lift your heart. Let it be a little bit more active as you take 2 more breaths. And begin to release into a forward fold. Turn your toes forward, lift your booty to the sky. Walk your feet towards center and lengthen up halfway with your inhale. And step your left foot to the back of your mat. Wander your right foot towards your left wrist. Find your half pigeon pose. As you release your right knee towards the earth. Make sure your knees feel healthy. You could always take a seated or a supine figure 4. Lift your heart first, big breath in. Maybe lower down on your breath out. If you've lowered in your pigeon option for a thread the needle variation, you're going to reach your left hand underneath, palm faces to the sky. Square your heart across your left bicep. Maybe reach your right arm forward. Forehead to the earth. Take 5 breaths. An option to stay in your pigeon or begin to push the earth away. Mindfully rise up, and tip onto your right sitting bone, and then begin to turn to the long edge of your mat into Vinyasa. So you're going to send your left leg out long, and you'll bring your right foot towards your inner left thigh. Flex through your left foot, and firm your left leg down towards the ground. Okay, so through your heel, through your thigh bone. You have 2 options to take here. So this is option 1 is the sit-up, and you would take a side bend. So you'll reach your left hand down, and then reach your right hand overhead, and then roll your heart through, similar to some of the other shapes we were taking today as we spun our heart underneath our armpit. Okay, so you can take that variation, and you can choose how deep you get into it. Okay. Another option is to bring your right foot towards Vinyasa. Your right sitting bone can lift off the earth for this. And you'll take your left hand to your right shin, so across your body. So your left hand holds your right shin. You're going to lean into the side bend from here. Maybe reach your right hand to your left foot. Flex your left foot. And if you have your right hand on your left foot, you're going to pull up towards the sky with your right side body. Begin to firm up and engage. Keep your right knee wide. Take another breath to 2 wherever you are. Make sure when you are ready to rise up that you use your core and your hands for support. So push down into the earth. Rise up tall. If your right foot is on the ground, begin to release back into your traditional Vinyasa legs. Cross your left shin in front. Circle sweep your hands high with an inhale, and fold forward on your exhale. And just take 3 slow breaths.
Slowly sit up. You're gonna spin to the top of your mat into a downward facing dog. You're gonna spin forward, just step back to a downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet for a moment. And then either hop or step to the top of your mat into your forward fold. You'll take a halfway lift with your breath in. Step your right foot back on exhale. Walk your left foot across for half pigeon. Again, you could take seated or supine figure 4 instead. Once you've checked that your knees feel healthy, you've scooched into that sweet spot for this side, take a breath in. Make an option to lower down with exhale. For the thread the needle variation, you're going to slide your right arm through. Right palm faces the sky. Square your heart against that. So forehead to the earth, left shoulder towards the ground. And in your shape, take 5 cycles of breath. If you wanted to stay here longer, you could. Otherwise, you have to push the earth away. I'm going to turn to face the camera, but you're going to just sweep yourself towards the right edge of your mat. So you'll have your right leg long, and then your left knee bent. And then you can either bring your left foot towards the inside of your right thigh, or you can find the Malasana, a squat variation with your left foot grounded and left knee pointing to the sky. And again, your left sitting bone can lift off the earth for this. Flex your right foot, anchor down to your right leg, so like you're pressing your right thigh, your right heel, your right shin bone all towards the earth. Okay. If you're taking the Malasana variation, it's right hand across, and then you're going to lean in and reach your left hand over. You don't need to touch your foot, maybe you can. Let your left knee draw wide, and then pull. So if you have your left hand on the outside of your right foot, you're going to pull up your left side body lengthen. If you're in the traditional Janu Shirsasana legs, you're just taking the side bend. Okay. So without the cross, you're going to reach your right arm down and reach your left hand over. Let's take 2 more breaths. When you rise up, make sure you use your hands and core for support. Go really slow, really gentle. You'll take your right shin to a cross-legged seat in front of your left. Reach up high with an inhale, and then exhale dives you forward, heart leading the way. You send 3 cycles of breath to the back of your heart space. This time, as you lift up, we're just going to turn to face the tops of our yoga mats and scooch forward, so nothing too fancy. If you want a sip of water, go ahead and grab a sip of water. And then we're going to use our core to lower us down. So if you want to skip the core engagement here, just hug your knees in and relax back. You're going to use your belly strength. You're going to anchor your heels into the earth. So just finding that distance between your heels and your seat, where you can really use the power of your belly and your legs to press your heels down into the ground and then pull your heels towards you. So think, root your heels down and then pull your heels towards you as you pull your belly to your spine. Feel your low belly kind of lock into place. With your breath in, reach your hands up high. On your exhale, anchor through your heels, begin to goddess your arms as you lean back.
Root through your heels to pull you back up. Use your core to inhale, lift, and lengthen that. Turn to your left, goddess, your arms, anchor through your heels, lean back, squeeze through your heels, squeeze through your left obliques. And then root through your heels to rise or reach tall through center. Exhale, second side, goddess arms to the right. Lean back, root through your heels, especially through your right heels. Breathe. Then inhale up and through your center. And exhale, slowly start to lower down. Reach your hands forward this time as you lower your low back towards the earth. Once your low back arrives, lift your legs to a low boat pose. Now begin to take your hands behind your head to interlace. Take a breath in. On your exhale, bend your left knee and twist your right elbow across. And inhale, left foot forward, heart to center. Exhale, second side, right knee in, left elbow to cross. And inhale, right foot forward, heart to center. This time lift your left leg to the sky as you twist. Inhale through your center. Right leg high, left elbow across. And inhale, center. Exhale, lift both legs to the sky. Just lift through center, lift, lift, lift. Feel the lift through your sternum. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Knees to chest, release, relax with 1. Take your favorite version of happy baby, so hands to shins, hamstrings, ankles, or feet. If you typically reach the outsides of your feet, maybe explore reaching to the inside arches of your feet and vice versa. Anchor yourself to your mat from the push and pull between your hands and your legs. And breathe down into the ground. If we look at obstacles as opportunities, and we recognize how many moments can be potential growth. Go ahead and bring your knees towards your chest. Keep your knees bent, place your feet to the earth. Take a little windshield wiper side to side. And then after a couple tips from left to right, you'll send your knees towards the sky, so just a bridge setup. Stack your right thigh on top of your left for eagle legs, and then scoot your pelvis to the right. Tip your knees towards your left, so you're in an eagle leg twist. And if for any reason your body prefers a different twist right now, take any twist variation you want, and 3 cycles of breath. Reach your left hand down to your right, the knee or thigh, and keep your right knee hugged towards you, maybe even pull a little bit closer. Try to push your left leg long so you're in a supine twist. And give your supine twist 1 breath. And I feel your right booty cheek, right? Roll to stack above your left hip. And then gather up a deep inhale to your right side body, your right ribs. With exhale, unwind into a supine tree. Let your right knee fall open to the side. And just relax into your shape. Turn your right foot to plant onto the earth, right knee to the sky. Cross your left thigh on top for your eagle leg twist, second side. Scoot your pelvis to the left and spill your knees over to the right. Maybe untuck your right shoulder blade. And find 3 slow breaths. Just like we did on the first side, use your right hand to keep your left knee close, or maybe even pull it a little bit closer towards your right shoulder. So just send your right leg long, so you're in your traditional supine twist. Give yourself a moment to feel the rinse, the rotation. Then breathe in really deeply to prepare. Exhale, roll into your supine tree. Let your left knee just spill lazily to the side, and take 3 cycles of breath. Bridge your left foot to the earth. Bring both knees into your chest. Decide to stay here, or start to send your legs up towards the sky. You can just hang out in waterfall pose, or push through the backs of your hands and lift your hips up and over you to your plow pose. Feel your sits bones reach to the sky. Breathe to the back of your heart. You can stay here or use your hands for support to lift into your shoulder stand. You could also take ear pinning pose. So maybe bend your knees, take your temples to your third eye or your temples. Over your next 3 cycles of breath, you'll use your core to slowly lower out, as you roll down. Pause your knees to your chest. Place your feet to the earth. Either let your knees knock to center for a fallen bridge or constructive rest, or bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall open wide. Land one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. And just begin to watch your breath as it rises, filling from bottom to top. Watch your breath as it falls. Exhale, empties from top to bottom. And you could stay right here exactly as you are. Reach down to the outsides of your thighs. Bring your knees back to center. Maybe bring your knees into your chest, and your nose into your knees. Take a breath in. And eventually on your exhale, begin to lengthen out to your Shavasana, your final relaxation. You take a moment just to be heavy on the earth. To surrender the weight of your body into your yoga mat and the stability of the ground below. Trust in that stability so that you can truly let go of any lingering tension or tightness in your physical body, any holding. And as your body settles in, surrenders, maybe you feel your heart and mind begin to soften too. And through that softening, maybe you experience a sense of opening. And perhaps you see that opening as the shift of perspective, where we can take any obstacle, any challenge, any situation or interaction, any experience, and see it as an opportunity to go deeper, to learn and grow, and to evolve into a higher, wiser, more true version of ourselves. And take the next 5 to 10 minutes to rest here.
Give yourself at least 5. Just to be in your body and to let every shape and every movement that you just move through integrate. And I'll leave you here to enjoy your Shavasana. Before I go, we'll close our class with one deep breath in through the nose. Maybe an open mouth exhale to release. May yoga offer us a path to compassion. And may your practice serve as your teacher to lead you in living more authentically and loving more deeply each and every day. Thank you so much, and namaste.